Hey everyone, it is Jay and Cody and we are back from CES 2019 in Las Vegas, and we are going to be bringing you some of our favorite things that we found at the convention. So we've broken it down into a couple of categories, and then at the very end we are going to share our number one favorite thing that we found at CES, and this is something I haven't seen anybody else talking about. No other videos have been made about this product, but I think it's really cool, and I think it's kind of a shame that it hasn't been seen as much. So we're going to bring that to you. So stay tuned to the end of the video, because the very last thing we will cover is our absolute favorite thing we found at CES this year. Alright, so we are going to get started with our favorite in camera, and these are mostly concept cameras. These aren't things that are out yet, but they're things that companies are showing to people to kind of get their feedback. So ultimately what we decided as our favorite thing in the camera department were the three concept cameras that Canon was advertising. So the first one is the intelligent compact camera. Right now they have two different designs, because again, these are all concept, these aren't available yet, they're just kind of playing around with the idea, and I think this is Canon's way to kind of delve into the popular pocket vlogging camera category. I can't tell if they're going for like the GoPro sort of audience with these, with like rugged durability, or if they're going for more of like the Osmo Pocket crowd, where it's just a smaller, more compact camera. I did think they kind of missed the bar a bit on both of the designs, because they're both kind of bulky. It
looks like an indoor camera, but it's supposed to be used a little bit more outside.
Yeah, it looks like a webcam. Actually, the design is very webcam-y.
Like an office kind of camera, or a desk camera.
What I absolutely love about this camera though is it does have the Canon autofocus system, which is one of the best autofocus systems that you can find. So if we can get a really nice compact camera with the Canon autofocus system, I think it will sell really well. So I'm happy to hear that Canon is looking into this. However, I do think with the current product they are missing the boat, but again, it excites me because it's a compact camera with the Canon autofocus system. Their other camera was the outdoor activity camera.
It's like a stick about this big, and it's really just more into their more active audience. And so I could see this like when you're going on a hike, when you're going into the woods, when you're going fishing, when you're going surfing. Basically places that you wouldn't take your cell phone. So if you're going to the theme park, you don't want to lose your camera on the roller coaster, going out into the water or out into the woods, and you don't want to pack the extra weight and things like that, I would say this is probably the product.
But what really redeemed Canon for me with their concept cameras was the kids mission camera. This is a camera that looks like my DSLR that is designed for a kid. So it's a little bit more durable. It has this cool ring light on the lens. The lenses don't appear to be interchangeable, but again, it's a camera designed for kids, and it's to get kids interested in photography. There seem to be some features like going on missions, which I think is why they call it the mission camera. So you give kids like built into the camera like a task or things to do to improve on their photography. And I think that's awesome, because you want to tap into that younger crowd. They're going to be your clients in the future. So getting a nice kids camera that actually works and works well and is made by Canon is an awesome idea. And I'm surprised it hasn't existed earlier than this. It had three colors that they are kind of showing is available right now. One's kind of a camo color. The other two I really liked were this white and green and this white and pink one. I thought those were more attractive than the camo one. I just think it's a kind of a cool concept. I hope they go through with it. I hope this camera becomes available, because I would definitely buy it for my kids. Honorable mention in our camera category goes to a camera that I think was probably the most buzzed about at CES, which is the only reason I am mentioning it, because I personally am not that excited for it, and that is the Sharp 8K camera. Similar in size to the Blackmagic Pocket Cam, so it's not pocket sized, even though that name pocket is in there. I don't know who has pockets that big, but it is a camera capable of shooting 8K. Again, it is just concept, so it's not available yet, and they don't even really have a price point out there. They said under $5,000. So under $5,000 could mean like $4,999.99, and that's probably about what it's going to be, which is why it doesn't really interest me that much. But it has a flip out screen.
Yeah, but it's a brick with a flip out screen. It's got the aesthetics of a brick.
Sharp, good job on being the first one to mention it. but I think it kind of missed the mark a little bit, and I'm not as excited about it as I think a lot of other people are.
A on innovation, F on actual execution.
Alright, so next up in our category is drones. I am a drone pilot, so I'm really super into drones, and I'd like to see what is going on with the drone category. And this year there was a lot going on, mostly underwater drones. And there are a lot of companies right now that are out there doing these underwater drones, but my personal favorite was the Robo-Sea Shark drone. This thing is so cool. It's big, it looks like a shark, and when you're putting something underwater, especially where like creatures and other things live, you want something bigger than the biggest thing that's gonna be in the waters you're probably exploring. I could totally see putting like a smaller one in there and having like a lake trout eat it. So I definitely want something big, something that is going to be able to navigate our water, which is Lake Superior. It's cold, it's rocky, it's not exactly the clearest. So this drone actually seemed to be capable of navigating kind of that rugged terrain. Now, on honorable mention for our drone category, this one goes to something that's not an underwater drone. It is actually a selfie phone case. This company is called Self-Fly, where their drone is compact enough that it folds down and clips onto the back of your phone case. And then it comes out and basically you throw it in the air and it hovers a few feet above you and you can take a selfie with it. Probably the most annoying product at CES and just in general, because if you can imagine like 10 people in a bar with a selfie drone, probably super annoying. But as far as innovation goes, I thought it was really kind of neat and just a different way to look at this sort of future of drones and how they're becoming more accessible to everyday people. I mean, it's actually attached to your iPhone. So this actually leads into our next category because the selfie drone was honorable mention in this category as well, and that is smartphone accessories. So there are a lot of smartphone accessories out there, and I honestly didn't dig into them a lot because it really doesn't interest me that much. But this one I just happened to stumble upon. So I'm going to take you to the convention, to the segment I filmed while there. So we're at the Pictar Pro booth, and I am a backer of this on Kickstarter, so I'm so excited to see that they were here. I actually didn't know they were going to be here. What this little thing does, my hand's on it, but this turns your smartphone into basically a professional camera. You slide your phone into this little gadget right here, and you have all sorts of pro controls that you don't have with your phone otherwise. Control shutter speed, exposure, everything your phone is capable of. This is like a zoom in, zoom out. It's got a zoom out, so you can add an external microphone. Awesome for vlogging. Alright, so Indiegogo, check them out. Pictar Pro. Alright, so that was the Pictar Pro, and as I mentioned in the video there, I am actually a Kickstarter backer for this project, and I'm super excited to get my hands on it. We're looking at probably around March when it comes out. So when it does, I will definitely bring you a larger and longer review of it. But if it's something you're interested in, you can pre-order it now on Indiegogo. The next one is probably one of the biggest categories at CES, and there is a lot in this field. We mostly just picked what we thought was the cutest. So this one is cute robots. There are a lot of cute robots at CES, and I feel like my personal winner is one you've seen a lot, kind of cliche, but you really can't beat it, and that's Aibo, the robotic dog. It was actually one of my goals going to CES. I was hoping he was going to be there so I could personally pet this robotic dog. I don't know why I'm like so fascinated with it, but I really just wanted to go to CES and pet the robotic dog. All right, I found Aibo. I got to pet a robotic dog, and I'm all sick, so I think I'm good. Let's go. But still, it's one of those cute, it's like, it definitely has a cute factor. I know, we have real dogs, but I don't know, I want an Aibo. Now we actually have two honorable mentions in the cute robot category, and these two robots were right next to each other on the convention floor, which is why I was like, going back and forth between the two of them, like these are literally the cutest robots I've seen next to Aibo. And the first one is the Groove X, I think it's called Love It robot. And it is this little fuzzy sloth, baby sloth looking thing with these big eyes, and it has a camera on it, and it follows you around and it plays with you. And the sole purpose is to like make you happy. That's really all it's designed to do. It's to keep you company, make you happy, make you smile, make you laugh, and make you love it. And that's all it does. It doesn't have any sort of like big applicable purpose. It's literally just there to make you happy. And that personally made me really happy.
And that kind of says something too, because we're kind of in this day and age where we kind of forget about those things.
The second honorable mention robot is probably the silliest and most obnoxious one at CES, but again, that's why I ended up loving it, and that is the big clapper clapping robot.
I love it. So it's got an actual purpose. In Japan, there's usually like greeters at storefronts or like greeters outside of the storefront to try to like bring you in. And so what this is it's a little clapping robot that just looks silly as can be. And it just kind of, it picks up on people and it'll clap to get your attention, and it'll kind of talk. And it's just really interactive. It fully serves its purpose, and I think you could use it in a lot of places.
It made me laugh, and some of the things it said also kind of creeped me out.
Please, someone give me a home. You're home.
It wasn't doing what you thought it was going to do. It sometimes spewed out some kind of inappropriate things, and I was like, that's kind of hilarious. I could put one of these in my house, get a couple people drunk, and just laugh your butts off. So smart home was a big category at CES this year. There are a ton of smart home products, and we picked our favorite and our honorable mention based on, after spending literally days and hours in those days looking at smart home stuff, this one I came across, the winner, I came across their booth, and I was just like, this is awesome. And after seeing so much really amazing smart home products, to find something that was so simple that like impressed me, that stood out to me as being one of my favorites. So the winner for this one is the Passive Bolt Ink Smart Lock.
What's really cool about this smart lock is it takes care of all your key problems, like whether you give them assign temporary, yourself, whatever. It's got some smart programming built into where it can tell you how open the door is. And yeah, it was just very impressive.
This was one of the products that I actually like walked away going, we should buy that. And I think the price point was around $150 or something like that, so it was even affordable and just an easy way to make your house a little bit of a smart home without going like extreme and having like a camera with face recognition. This, you can still have a key, and you put the key in if it, you know.
Yep, and with solid
system.
software,
yeah,
and you know, solid design.
So great job, Passive Bolt Ink, on that. The honorable mention for this one goes to actually kind of a series of products that are called open source assistants. So we all know Alexa, and we all know Hey Google and things like that, and I really hope I just activated somebody's device with this video. But these are smart assistants that a lot of people have issues with because it saves your data, and it kind of has created some controversy over the years about how much privacy you lose by allowing these things in your house. There are numerous open source assistants like the Mark II, and the company that made this is called Minecraft AI, and basically it's a smart assistant in your house that can do very similar things to Alexa and Google, but it doesn't save your data anywhere. There's no cloud storage for it, and you can program what goes in and on it, so it even has some child safety features and things like that.
Got a nice little screen, so they're kind of ahead with like the portal and stuff like that that's coming out. And even though it's probably not the most advanced hardware behind there, I think it's enough that it'll be very impressive to most people. But also, I think it's a really good thing that since it's open source, you can get a lot of movement behind it and a lot of programming behind it, to where all of a sudden we can take all these smart house things and finally kind of utilize them more efficiently or better without having to be worried about locked up in the Apple Home or the Alexa enabled or the Google enabled.
And so finally, the thing you've all been waiting for, it is the thing that we thought was the coolest thing at CES, and it is a 4K binoculars. Okay, so you're probably thinking like, CES is all this crazy cool innovation, why did we pick this? Because for us in our life, this is actually the most applicable thing that I saw there, and I was shocked that nobody else was really talking about it. The product is called the Next Opic Double Take. They are a 4K binocular set, and Carrie from Next Opic is going to tell you all about them.
So this is Double Take, and how this works is it uses a dual lens system. So this is a wide field lens, and this is a narrow field lens. It's essentially a telescope. And what that allows us to do is to be able to zoom in and zoom out very quickly. Secondary to this as well is that it has a 4K video and also a 12 megapixel camera with a host of other smart applications as well. This would be really great for people that travel. Activities that such include whale watching, birding, even football games. A lot of people travel for that as well, so it really makes those cheap seats the best seats.
Anyone that's tourist or goes outdoors and just wants to make some really impressive videos and some really impressive pictures, I think this is right up your alley. And picture this, you're going whale watching, everyone's got their camera, and you're going to get a picture that's like this big, and your whale's going to be like that big. But then you take this thing and you got like Discovery Channel close up, you know, detail on like a whale, you know, breaching, or seals on a beach. I mean, it's literally a huge difference.
I mean, this is definitely something that you then take home and you just totally impress your friends. And the camera itself does have some built-in stabilization. So even with that incredible zoom, you get some stable footage. So I don't know, I think it's awesome. And I think a lot of people, especially if you travel a lot, are really going to enjoy this product.
Or if you're like a wildlife person, right? Because you can get really close without having to be close, and you don't have to worry about scaring the animals or getting different behavior out of animals because you're clicking away over in the corner hiding in a bush.
So check out the next Opic Double Take 4K binoculars to see what all of our buzz is about. And this has been our review of CES 2019 and the tech that we personally loved.